ezi onye nwe anyị na Chineke nna nke pụrụ m ihe niile, Chukwu okike abịa ma bụ onye anyị na-efe na-agọzi aha nsọ ya, onye ọ bụ naanị ya na-achị, onye mmụọ na mmadụ na-erubere isi, onye ọ bụ naanị ya bụ ọka aka. Ụbọchị ene ka anyị na-etugha eze ebube dị ngọzi, mmalite na ọgwụgwụ. Ndị gboo wee tụọ oge ebighị ebi, onye nwe m, ụmụ gị wee gbakọọ n'ụwa niile iwe nara ozi ọma nke gị onwe gị n'ezi ha site n'ọnụ mmadụ dị ndụ na nke ebere dị ngọzi. Anyị wee na-asị na onweghị ihe ọbụla nke anyị onwe anyị bụ n'ihi na ọ bụ anụkpa ahụ sọsọ ka mmadụ dị ndụ bụ. Ofu ụbọchị anyị ga-anwụ, maka na okwu nsọ gị na-adịghị ma ruo mgbe ebighị ebi, n'ihi na okwu gị niile ga-abịarịrị na mmezu. Ọ bịa mere Biafra ga-eji wee bịa na mgbe nke anyị. Anyị wee na-akpọkụ gị wee na-arịọ gị na-asị, lekwa ude nke anyị na-asụ n'akwa nke anyị na-ebe ka o metụta gị n'obi. Onye nwe m na Chineke nna nke igwe, biko dịka isi wee napụta ụmụ gị n'ọbụ n'Ijipt gotu wee wezuga ụmụ gị bụ ndị Biafra mgbodo ekwensu bụ zuu nke mmadụ dị ndụ kere. Anyị wee na-aja gị mma, na-asị gị n'ime ọnọdụ anyị na anyị ga-ekele ha nsọ gị, wee nye gị nsọpụrụ n'ụtụ na-eji ama mgbe niile, n'ihi na anyị enweghị chi ọzọ ewezuga gị. Anyị nwe anyị anaghị efe arụsị. Ọbịa mere iji wee na-agọzi nsọmụkwụ anyị niile. Ọbịa mere IPOB ji wee gbaa mgbọrọgwụ n'ụwa niile. Anyị anaghị atụ egwu mmadụ dị ndụ. Anyị wee na-eto gị eze ebube dị ngọzi, sị gị biko gbatara anyị ọsọ enyemaka. Ọ bụ naanị gị bụ onye anyị refe nwanyị akpụ isi ala nye, ka i wee napụta ndị gị n'ọbụ nke ekwensu. Anyị wee na-enye gị ofe na nsọpụrụ Naija, ma na-asị, lekwa ka ndị iro anyị niile ka kasị wee baa ha ọnụ, ha wee daa hapụ ikunu ọzọ. Obodo ekwensu bụ zu ala nwekwana iyi eze ebube dị ngọzi. Anya ọnwa anyị bụ ụmụ gị wee na-akpọkọ ha nsọ gị, na-asị na enweghị chi ọzọ ewezuga gị. Anyị wee na-aja gị mma, wee na-eto gị, na-asị onye kere ihe niile kere eke, mana onwe onye kere na n'otuto niile na nsọpụrụ niile na ịja mma niile site n'ebighị ebi, mara onye bi ka a na-arịọ gị. Ise ise ise.
I think I've now come to terms with the fact that for us to have proper rapid development in Nigeria, we need to separate, we need to divide. Let the Yoruba man go their way, let the Northerners go their way, let the Easterners go their way. This thing about one Nigeria is definitely not going to work, Chacha. Wallahi. You cannot have South Africans clowning us. You cannot have Ghanaians clowning us. And now you now have Namibians clowning us. One Nigeria is definitely not going to work. You cannot have a simple argument or a debate with anybody from Africa right now, and you are able to win. You speak one, they tell you electricity. You speak two, they tell you security. You cannot travel 10 kilometers without writing your will. They speak about bad road. They've gone as low as internet. We need to divide. This thing about one Nigeria is not going to work. Having one person as a president sitting in one place called Aso Rock, deciding the fate of 300 million people, especially when you know these are the least smartest people in the country, it's not going to work. Let us bring some kind of competition within these different regions, instead of having to depend and say everything has to do with the federal government. Ordinary electricity. I was thinking this thing about electricity in Ghana was a joke, but apparently these guys are having the best type of electricity like they were in Europe. In Nigeria, you can't even boast of 24 hours electricity. In year 2026, we need to divide, man. The only war we are winning right now in Nigeria is just jollof rice, and then maybe dirty December, clubbing alcohol. No, we can do better. This thing about what? Nigeria is 300 million people. When you look at these other countries I'm speaking about, you look at Ghana, they are not even up to 40 million. Namibia, 3 million on a good day. RCCG is bigger than Namibia. The Youth Ministry of Christ Embassy, they are bigger than Namibia. Yeah, these people, they are clowning us every single day. Nigerians cannot win one war. You cannot have a normal debate and say you are going to win. Everybody, they are clowning us. Giant of Africa, my foot. Let everybody go develop their region. Chase the Igbo man from the West. Go chase the Yoruba men from the East, let them go back. Everybody go make your region better. Go find the Igbo man in the North. Let everybody, but depending on one president to make these things happen is definitely not going to work. We are too many. We are too populated for this whole one Nigeria affair. It's not going to work. Let us divide. I am tired. I am tired. The bare minimum. We are not even speaking about healthcare. We are not even speaking about child mortality, education. Just the basics we cannot even be proud of. Not one Nigeria, my foot. Everybody go your way. Let's do a referendum. Let the people decide. Nonsense, man. I'm tired.
Thank you. Thank you for joining me tonight. My name is Raphael Chamaka Jere, also known as Pastor Vam Vam Vam. By the grace of Chukwu Kabiama Primihenile, Minister of Information, Biafra Republic Government in Exile, and the armor bearer of the Prime Minister of the Biafra Republic Government in Exile, Mazi Simon Ekpa, the Odogu of Biafra land, and also representing my leader, Onyendu Mazin Nnamdi Kanu. I greet you all and I bring you good tidings. Good tidings because those that have always been painting themselves to be nice and good, but looking for how they will exterminate us, now the wind have blown and everyone can now see their backside. Nigeria is now being known for what it is worldwide. And there is no way anyone who loves humanity, there's no way. If you say you love humanity, you are a human being, and you fear God, there's no way you will want Nigeria to continue. No way. Nigeria is not God's creation. Nigeria is British creation. And all that British creation have the originality of everyone there that Britain come and lumped them together. The video I played in the afternoon, I'm going to bring it back now. And I'm going to put the link here. And there's some other videos I want to play just for you to know that this is not just my opinion. This is a general opinion now. And I want to appreciate JC Okechukwu, Mazi Okechukwu. I want to appreciate him, for encouraging people to keep praying for Riley Moore. When Riley Moore wrote that piece that nobody is calling for division or separation from Nigeria or the division of Nigeria, that they are fighting to protect Christians. And then Joseph said, just keep praying for him because it will dawn on him to understand that, look, it's not just about protecting Christians. And the only way Christians can be protected is by having a separate state for them. America, for example, is a Christian nation, and they are upholding their Judeo-Christian values and principles. UK was supposed to be a Christian nation. Now you can see that they deliberately opened their doors to Islam to come in. Islam is about to swallow them. So you see that Christianity and Islam cannot interwoven. It's either you are a Christian nation or you are a Muslim nation. In Arab, there are the Arab nations. They are all Islamic nations. Saudi Arabia is an Islamic nation. Kuwait is an Islamic nation. Bahrain, Oman, they are all Islamic nations. They are not Christian nations. Their value system is Islamic. So you cannot have the Nigeria where they will tell you it is a nation combined. What do you call it? A secular nation, and where you now see Islam forcing themselves on Christians. And now the recent one, while Riley Moore was waiting to respond to what people were saying about his write-up, the massacre that was more than the Yelewata massacre occurred again in a Muslim community. In a Muslim community where they are forcing people to adhere to Islamic rule. And you can be sure that Riley Moore is also aware that in that particular Muslim community, churches were burnt down. People that were inside churches, their churches were smoked down. So for the Christians, they didn't even give them chance or opportunity to even convert or to follow their law. They burnt them. But for the Muslims, they gave them opportunity and asked them, you must follow the Sharia or their system. And while they refused, they massacred over 200. And now the genuine report from American news now is that it is over 300 people. The Nigerian news is reporting 175, 200, but the American news have really gotten the full details. And it is over 300 that were massacred because they want to enforce Islamic rule on everyone. So now there is opportunity for people to choose their own side of the divide. And our leader, who have been exposing this evil and this wickedness, already gave opportunity to the Christian minorities in the north that, look, we have a safe haven for them in our own Christian nation. Instead of you, America, being worried that people will be running from Benue, from a plateau to be coming to America. Some of them might not even make it. Now, there is a place nearby. It is called Biafra. They can come and have their safe haven. For the avoidance of doubt, let me play for Riley Moore and those that may be wondering how, when did they make that promise? Who promised? Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is the leader of the Biafran people, and he made this promise. And he's not a man that would promise and fail, because he is the one that has been ringing this bell ever since. He's the one that has been exposing this wickedness. And he told Bishop Kuka, that, look, we will provide a safe place for you in Biafra. You don't need to be afraid. Now listen to what Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said, so that you understand that, look, when we talk about divide Nigeria, it's not because we just want to divide Nigeria. No, it is because it will save lives. It is because that is the only solution. It is because if you don't do it urgently and quickly, more lives and more lives will be lost. But if we have a Christian nation, Biafra, now we can now protect ourselves. We can now defend ourselves. Those people, they are not part of us. So we now know how to deal with them when they come. So it will be a big problem for you. Already we have our foreign guards, we have our BLA army that are protecting the bushes. We need to empower them so that they will be able to guide our land. And these are the only ally you can trust. We are the only ally you can confide in. If you want to trust Nigeria, it is at your own peril. Listen to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu before I will play you videos that will show you that, look, Nigeria is not sustainable. Nigeria cannot work. The first video I played here, that guy, Clinton, is a very popular social media influencer. Very popular in the UK. Now, he's telling you that he is tired. This is somebody that believed in Nigeria so much. But for him to tell you that he is tired and that you must divide Nigeria, that this one Nigeria cannot work, don't take it for granted. Because these are people that have always rejected our suggestion to break that Nigeria. They've rejected it. They've said no way. They said we are warmongers. They called us terrorists. But today, they are telling you by themselves that there is no way that one Nigeria can work. How can anyone in his right mind that loves humanity want Nigeria to continue? A country that deliberately refuses to act and stop these terrorists. Now, instead of people that refuse to build infrastructures, now, do you know what they are building? They are building cemeteries. And they said it is modern cemeteries. Excuse me. They want to build cemeteries where they will bury the dead. So they are preparing to have more dead people because they cannot do anything. Zamfara governor, the governor of Zamfara state, he came on live TV. The video is on YouTube. The governor of Zamfara state, he said he is helpless. That the former governor is working with the terrorists. And that the terrorists, they know where they live. They know them. But they cannot do anything about them. Where in America do you have military coming out to tell you, hey, ISIS can repent and become president in America? Before I even play Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's message, now listen to this. This one is a senior military person, military personnel in Nigeria Army. Hear what he said, and then I will come and show you the promise Mazi Nnamdi Kanu made to all the minority Christians or minority people that are not ready to accept this hardline Islamic Sharia. Who give them asylum in Biafra land. They don't need to go to Europe. They don't need to go to America. Here is a military man, a senior military man.
An ex-Boko Haram stands having laid his arms and comes back, turns his way away from his negativity. He stands to be a president of this country. He stands to aspire to any position in this country. Why is he wasting his time? Opportunities are out there for them.
Unfortunately, the topical issue in Nigeria is restructuring. Restructuring my foot. To hell with restructuring.
An ex-Boko Haram stands having laid his arms and comes back, turns his way away from his negativity. He stands to be a president of this country.
Are you hearing him? This is a senior military man. He's still in the military. He's telling you that those people that murdered over 300 people in the village, in a Muslim community and Christian communities, that they stand a chance of becoming presidents in that same country. And you want us to be sharing the same country with this kind of animalistic people, with this kind of murderers, these cannibals? We should be sharing the same country with them. Would you allow that in America? No, it's not possible. Now, this is coming from a senior military man. And then you heard the other one that talked after him. Listen.
Stands to aspire to any position in this country. Why is he wasting his time? Opportunities are out there for them.
Opportunities are out for. Look, the picture you are seeing here, for those that are concerned, is the vice president of Nigeria. Well, before he became vice president, of course. But has he changed his stance or his ways? No. He is sitting down and having a meal and having a chat, or sitting down with terrorists, known terrorists. When the leader of Boko Haram was being looked for, when they were searching for him, they found the leaders of Boko Haram in his house. And now come and hear what he said here.
Unfortunately, the topical issue in Nigeria is restructuring. Restructuring my foot.
Well, people talk about restructuring, to restructure Nigeria. He said he's not interested in restructuring his foot. This man, when the current drug lord president took over, they handed him the security. He said he will take charge of the security. You can now see the reason why the security is like that. Presently, the Minister of State for Defense, he's the former governor of Zamfara State, where the present governor now is helpless and cannot stop the killings, but rather he wants to build mortuaries where dead will be buried, because there's no way he can stop the killings, because he knows that there will be more. He knows that there will be more. So when we are telling you that, look, to divide the country is the best thing that can ever happen. If you don't divide it, more people will be ruined, more people will be unalived, and it will go on. It will go on. To avoid it, Nigeria must not continue. Now, let me show you what Mazi Nnamdi Kanu promised, so that you will know that when we're talking about dividing, it is not just only in our own interest, but in the interest of everyone who are, the endangered species, in their own interest. In the interest of the endangered species, because Christians are endangered species. Other kind of Muslims that do not believe that kind of Sharia, they are endangered species. Who would give them asylum? Or the other worshippers that do not worship Islam but chooses not to be Muslims, and now their lives are in danger. Who will give them asylum? Listen to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's promise to the Christians that are afraid that splitting Nigeria may be a problem for them, and therefore they are supporting Fulani, hoping that if we play the card together with them, they might spare us. They will not spare you. They will spare you.
He's from Sokoto. He's a minority, so he thinks that when Nigeria breaks up, Fulani will swallow them alive. But I want to tell them that we are all students of history. There is a group of people called the Huguenots from France. During the height of Reformation, they were being persecuted by the French authorities, who were Catholic. People don't know that Roman Catholic fought with Anglican Church in those days. People don't know this, but that's life. Do you know what happened? Britain, being a Protestant nation, offered amnesty or struck a deal with France to say, give me all your Protestants. We'll absorb them. They're called the Huguenots. and they came to Britain. That is where the lives of Sir Peter de la Billière is a French name, but his family settled in England. He rose to become a general and led the war in the Desert Storm. It was him that commanded the British forces in the Desert Storm. His ancestors were French, the Huguenots. So what I'm saying to Bishop Coker and all northern Christian minorities today is this: on my honor and on my life.
On my honor. On my honor and on my life. On my honor and on my life. That's the promise he's making. Once Biafra becomes that Christian nation, that proper ally that America is looking for, on his honor and on his life. Listen to him.
French, the Huguenots. So what I'm saying to Bishop Coker and all northern Christian minorities today is this: on my honor and on my life, I swear before God Almighty in heaven that with the coming of Biafra, every Christian northerner will be allowed to settle in Biafra land. So you see, Bishop Coker, you have nothing to be afraid of. You have a place where you can practice your faith without looking over your shoulder all the time, thinking who's coming to kill me. You will come to Biafra land and you will live there a very peaceful, fulfilled life in Biafra land. The same thing that the English did for the French Protestants, they're called the Huguenots. The same thing we are going to do for you. If you feel that you're threatened in the Sharia core north, and because of that, you think that having the East and the West in one Nigeria will save you as if some kind of insurance against elimination by the crazy, mad Fulani Janjaweed. You will come to Biafra land. We will give you asylum. You will stay there. Your generations will live and thrive. We are accommodating people.
Yes.
We welcome visitors. Then you will see what Biafra is like in real life.
In real life.
Not the miserable existence you have in Sokoto. You want to stay in a country where people are threatening your life because you spoke. You said your mind and they're threatening you. What I'm offering you is what happened in England, though. The same England telling you to talk about one Nigeria. There was a time that the lives of French Protestants were under threat in France. England said, give them to us, we'll take them. They were all sent to England. They are called the Huguenots. We offer you the same asylum today.
He's a man of his word. Everything this man has said has come to pass. Everything. And the reason why Nigeria condemned him is because of what he said. And all these things you see happening today, he said it. He told them to beware. Today, a man called Theophilus Danjuma in Taraba State, they are now burying people like fowl in Taraba State. Christians there are running away from their communities. As at the day before yesterday and yesterday, Christians are running for their lives in Taraba State. The former chief of army staff, Theophilus Danjuma, let me show you his video. Let me show you the video of Theophilus Danjuma. He also told them that, look, that these people, they collude. The military, they collude. He said it. But today, his communities, they are under threat. They are all running away. Listen to Theophilus Danjuma. From Taraba State, Taraba is under fire now. Christians can no longer worship freely. They are running. And military is giving the terrorists cover.
There's an attempt at ethnic cleansing in this state and, of course, in all the riverine states of Nigeria. We must resist it. We must stop it. Every one of us must rise up. The armed forces are not neutral. They collude.
The armed forces are not neutral. They collude. They work together with these terrorists. How? At the House of Senate, a senator, just a few weeks or a few months ago, A senator came out openly and said, we know these terrorists. Now, the last attack that they came to attack, the soldiers were supposed to be there. Somebody withdrew the soldiers. Somebody made a call, and the soldiers were withdrew. Up to today, they are still asking, who made that call? They've not brought that person out. The one that happened a few days ago in Kwara, the military people that were normally at the checkpoint that were supposed to block these terrorists and stop them from coming, they withdrew them. They withdrew them. And these people operated for 10 solid hours. Ralemo, are you watching? Are you listening? 10 hours, 10 hours. Massacre for 10 hours. They stopped the killing for some time and went to their church or to their mosque to pray, came back again and continued the killing. 10 hours. No military. When the people heard the sound of helicopter, the helicopter was colluding. They went to make sure that the terrorists are safe. They didn't shoot them. Not one terrorist was shot. Do you want to send your Nigerian army to work with this same? Do you want to send your American army to work with this same Nigerian army that are colluding with terrorists? This man that you hear this voice now is former chief of army staff, the head of the army in Nigeria. So he has a very high level of intel. When he tell you that they collude, they collude. After this particular video, the presidency called him, they shut him up, he didn't come out again to talk. So how can anybody in his right mind, anybody that has humanity in him, how can you support Nigeria? It's not possible. That's why I am convinced that this is the end of the road for this evil contraption called Nigeria. This is the end of the road for it. So let us not fight Rally more. Let us just bring some of this evidence to them to show them that these are reality on ground. Now listen to Theophilus Danjuma again. Let me play it from the top. This is the head of the army in his time. So he still have that level of respect and support from the militaries that are loyal to him because he's a senior man in the military.
There's an attempt at ethnic cleansing in this state and of course in all the riverine states of Nigeria. We must resist it. We must stop it. Every one of us must rise up. The armed forces are not neutral.
They're not neutral.
They collude. They collude. They collude with the armed bandits that kill people, kill Nigerians.
The army.
They facilitate their movements. They cover them.
They cover them.
If you are depending on the armed forces to stop the killings, you will all die one by one.
People depend on the army. That's why they are dying. And then the governor of Zamfara State, the guy that did this video, he was, actually doing it like a comic, but it is real. This guy that did this video of the Zamfara State governor, he did it with comic, but it is real. The governor of Zamfara State is building what? Cemeteries. Cemetery. That's what he's building. He said ultra modern. Now, these are people that have opportunity to build infrastructures. They didn't bring infrastructures. So to the governor now, infrastructure is not even a priority. Even for the people of Zamfara State, who not be person when they're alive. It's somebody that is alive that will talk about infrastructure. For them, infrastructure is not even what they need now. They need their life to be safe. Now, the governor cannot provide security for them. So they are now left to their fate, to their own fate. They are left to their own fate. So what the governor is waiting for is, if the bandits come and they unalive you, the governor, at least they'll be able to bury you in a very good and a decent cemetery. So cemeteries are going to litter all over Zamfara State because the governor have spoken, the governor have cried out, the governor did not keep quiet. So we have to give it to the governor. The governor of Zamfara State did not keep quiet. He didn't keep quiet. He spoke up. But the presidency, the government of Nigeria refused to do something. Maybe I will need to look for that video of the governor of Zamfara State. Let's first of all listen to this one that this comedian is playing here. Let's see.
God.
Let's see it.
God. God help us in this country. Make una see what dey happen. Zamfara governor budget 1 billion naira to build ultra-modern cemeteries across 14 local governments as bandit killing persists. He thought say since this bandit no one stop the killing for Zamfara State, he say he go build ultra-modern cemetery where DJ go dey play Obule for una if una die. They come for Nigeria. He say they go bullet for the cemetery. When I want build now they see road for night. See country where I come from. See country.
Now, let me, because I think I've searched out the video from the governor of Zamfara State. Let me see if I can play, bring it out and play it for you. This Zamfara State governor that is now building cemeteries. I want to show you when he was lamenting and crying out and complaining, and nobody mind him. They didn't mind him. Listen. Let me look for the full interview. Wait. Okay. Let me look. I think the full interview. What will I title it now? Let me see. Maybe. Let me first of all play this one. If I find the full interview, I will bring it again. But let's just first listen to this one. Stop sharing that one. Share this one. Okay. Okay, I think it's okay like that. At least you can hear him.
We know where these guys are. We know where they live. We know their parents.
You know them as a government?
Of course we do. They live with the same community we live.
So why is it difficult to get them?
That is the $1 million question that I should ask you.
We are trying to understand, for those of us who are now conversant with Zamfara, have never been there, and we hear you as a chief security officer speak tonight to say you know these people, but yet you can't get them. It's a head scratcher.
It is something that we are trying to all put our heads together. That is why, from what I can do as a governor, to have this CPG as a first line of defense. Of course, military are there, police are there, as well as civil defense, but they are not under my control. They are under the control of federal government.
Are you hearing it? There is terrorism going on in Zamfara. The chief in Zamfara, the man in charge of the security in Zamfara is not the one in control of the military or the people that should go after the terrorists. The people in control are in Abuja. So that means he is powerless in his own state to go after the terrorists that he knows where they are, he knows who they are, he knows where they live. But he can't do anything about it. That's the governor. That man talking is not the governor of Zamfara State. He's the governor. That's Nigeria. So how can you, support such a country? How can you? Right. Let's see.
And they're doing their best. And like I said also, our security forces have the ability to crush these guys.
But they are not.
They're trying their best.
Trying their best.
Like what happened within the last...
Did you hear what he said? He said their security forces, they have what it takes to crush. But the only thing they're doing is they are trying their best. That means they are not doing what they're supposed to do. Are you following?
3 days when one of the major kingpin, Halilu Sububu, was killed. It is a combination of both military as well as the CPG and the community that made it possible. And I commend them for that.
For those who don't understand how our constitution works and the power sharing formula of the exclusive, the concurrent lists and all of that, as to why the governor and the chief security officer of the state seems powerless.
Powerless.
Let me ask you.
He is supposed to be the chief security officer of the state, but he is powerless in Nigeria.
If the reverse were the case, if you had the powers as the governor of Zamfara State, what would you do differently?
What I will do differently is to go in there and crush these guys within the shortest possible time, because...
Are you hearing him? So, given the chance and the permission, because he said he knows them, he knows where they live. Did you hear him say it from the beginning? In case you didn't, let me allow him to say it from the top again. He said, we know where they are. We know who they are. Listen.
We know where these guys are. We know where they live. We know their parents.
We know their parents.
You know them as a government.
Of course we do. They live with the same community we live.
So why is it difficult to get them? So, as the governor of Zamfara.
So have you heard that? He said, we know them. So this lady and I asked him this question. Repeat that question again.
It's powerless. Let me ask you, if the reverse were the case, if you had the powers as the governor of Zamfara State, what would you do differently?
Listen.
What I will do differently is to go in there and crush these guys within the shortest possible time, because
you are not looking for them anymore. You know where they are. You know who they are. You know their parents. You know their house. You know their hideout. Just go in there and you root them out. In some communities in Zamfara, in all these places, they have driven away the Christians that are there. They massacre those they will massacre. Those that are able to run, they run. They take over their villages and they rename their villages. They rename it. They are now living there. So what it means is that we have communities of terrorists. We have communities that terrorists are inhabiting inside Nigeria. And the presidency are doing nothing about it. The governor knows where they are. He knows who they are. He knows what they have done. He knows how to go after them. But he is powerless. Are you following? He's powerless.
They are under my command. But right now, they're not under my command. So I have to rely on federal government.
So the military are not under his command. He is the chief security officer in the state, but the military in his state are not under his command. They are under the command of Shetima. Remember Shetima, when Shetima took over, he said, I will be in charge of security. So they are under the control of Shetima. And then Shetima doesn't want those terrorists to go down.
Give instructions.
This is the sitting governor of Zamfara State saying some serious things here. This interview was in September of 2024. And you can see that even 1 year after, nothing has changed. In fact, things have become even worse. That they know where the terrorists are, but he cannot deal with them decisively because he doesn't have the powers. He practically blamed the federal government for lack of serious actions and efforts in dealing with the terrorists. He clearly said that the reason why he has not dealt with the insecurity issues in his state is because he is not actually in charge of the security apparatus. He clearly said that if he is to be in charge of the security apparatus, that he would have gone after them and eradicate them. So you can see a sitting governor actually putting the blame of not solving the insecurity challenges we have on the federal government.
So what else are you looking for? What else are you looking for? What else?
Quanto vale la tua auto?
What else are you looking for? Well, okay. You follow that? So you hear, we are doing, the wife of Tinubu was in the US. We are doing our best, we are fighting it, we are doing that. They're doing nothing. Now, having played that, let's go to the video I brought to us earlier, Now, okay, wait, let me play back for you to know why this man I just finished talking now, have now resorted to building cemeteries. Because since you don't want him to protect his people, he have said, okay, no problem, then I will build the cemetery. I'll build a cemetery. At least let the people have let them have the benefit of being buried in a decent place. Because since you people want them to die without fighting, the people fighting them, he chooses to build cemeteries. Now listen to this again. This guy was saying,
God help us in this country. Make una see wetin dey happen o. Zamfara governor budget 1 billion naira to build ultra-modern cemeteries across 14 local governments as bandit killing persists. He thought say since this bandit no wan stop the killing for Zamfara state, he say he go build ultra-modern cemetery where DJ go dey play obule for una if una die.
Now, do you know that in that full interview, if you watch the full interview that I played earlier, the governor actually said that the 14 local governments that are in his state, that none of them are under his control. None. All the 14 local governments are under the control of these terrorists. So that means this man is only sitting down in his, in the capital, in his head office, and the terrorists are running his state for him. Terrorists are running his state. Oh my God.
They come for Nigeria. He say they go pull light for the cemetery. When I want build now they see road for night. See country where I come from. See country.
The man is not laughing, no, he's crying. Because if you think this is laughing now, you are making a mistake. He was crying. This is where Joseph Okechukwu advised us. Let me bring this here. Joseph Okechukwu encouraged us to all those who think Raleigh Moore isn't doing enough to advance their cause. Someday, when the dust have settled and victory is won, you will realize to your utmost dismay that he is being your closest ally and indeed your knight in shining armor, all along. You will cheerfully thank him with calabashes full of palm wine for availing himself. Say that I told you, and I can't say more than this. Keep this great guy in your prayers. He's doing more than is expected of a total stranger, and there are not many with his kind of balls. Yes, Yeah, I will come back and play you the video of I'll play the video of Raleigh Moore because there's a video where he had an interview. Before then, let me repeat this video I played in the afternoon today. Let me repeat it so that
the north
anybody
is
that
the
wants
savannah.
if you are in hold on, there's anybody that wants to join me and say something, you can already click the link and join me and say something. So let's see.
If you are in Nigeria and your shock absorber is not working properly, please don't watch this video.
Are Nigerians parasites? In almost every country on earth, there is a Nigerian prisoner. However, no one wants to go to Nigeria. Moving abroad is the top 5 career categories in Nigeria. They have ruined their country so terribly that it has become uninhabitable. Police stations look like pigsties, whilst government buildings look like building sites. Corruption in Nigeria is no longer frowned upon. Instead, it is praised. Criminality is celebrated in every echelon of society. The people themselves do not elect decent Nigerians, they elect criminals. You know a country celebrates corruption and crime when it is 99% corrupt, but never has any top government official ever been convicted and imprisoned. In Nigeria, communication is conducted through screaming, hand gestures, and sometimes the fist way. You'd see diplomats, police, and military men fighting in public. Tens of thousands of fist fights should be recorded in Nigeria every day. Every building has a generator, some with up to 10, all running at the same time, forging a megapoly of noise of epic proportions. Nigerian motorists communicate with their horns. An average Nigerian motorist beeps their horn 100 times per day. Imagine the noise pollution. In Nigeria, the pastor is corrupt, the doctor is corrupt, the engineer, the teacher, the professor, the custom officials, the police, the passport official, the teller, the banker, the ministers, the president, and everyone is corrupt. I'm not sure you...
No, guys, I want to refresh my system. I don't know why I cannot post the link on the comment section. I don't know what's happening to this streaming app. Just a minute, let me refresh. Okay, I'm back. Why can't I share the link? Why can't I share the link? Oh no, this must be a problem. Let me copy it then. Maybe a problem from StreamYard. Okay, this may be a problem from StreamYard. Okay, I'm going to copy it and paste it manually. So let's continue to listen to what we're listening to. Then I'll copy it and paste it manually. All right. All right. Please listen to this. Very, very important. I want you to hear this. I'll start it afresh. Yeah, we lost 2 minutes. Let me go back.
If you are in Nigeria and your shock absorber is not working properly, please don't watch this video.
Are Nigerians parasites? In almost every country on earth, there is a Nigerian prisoner. However, no one wants to go to Nigeria. Moving abroad is the top 5 career categories in Nigeria. They have ruined their country so terribly that it has become uninhabitable. Police stations look like pigsties, whilst government buildings look like building sites. Corruption in Nigeria is no longer frowned upon. Instead, it is praised. Criminality is celebrated in every echelon of society. The people themselves do not elect decent Nigerians, they elect criminals. You know a country celebrates corruption and crime when it is 99% corrupt, but never has any top government official ever been convicted and imprisoned. In Nigeria, communication is conducted through screaming, hand gestures, and sometimes the fist way. You'd see diplomats, police, and military men fighting in public. Tens of thousands of fist fights should be recorded in Nigeria every day. Every building has a generator, some with up to 10, all running at the same time, forging a megapoly of noise of epic proportions. Nigerian motorists communicate with their horns. An average Nigerian motorist beeps their horn 100 times per day. Imagine the noise pollution. In Nigeria, the pastor is corrupt, the doctor is corrupt, the engineer, the teacher, the professor, the custom officials, the police, the passport official, the teller, the banker, the ministers, the president, and everyone is corrupt. I'm not sure you understood. I will elaborate. You can get to the Nigerian border with explosives, bribe the officials, and they'll let you in. You can bribe your way through your professors to give you the best grade. Bribe the passport officials to delete your name from the system and create a new identity for you. Or pay the police to arrest someone who annoys you. Nigeria is a complete shithole. Now imagine people raised under such chaotic system coming into your country. From the day they were born, they bribed their way through the authorities, school, and even employment. When a government job opening becomes available, the person in charge sells it to the highest bidder. You see, this is not talked about enough. I have given this a serious thought before making this video, and it breaks my heart that I have to make it. A Nigerian have no sense of queue, keeping the street clean, respect authority, law and order, or the faintest idea of customer service. There is only one thing on the mind of a Nigerian: make money and buy respect. They have succeeded in creating nations within their country. The Hausa, Yoruba, and Igbo effectively have quasi-nations within Nigeria. You should see them bashing, fighting, hating, and disparaging each other instead of working together to fix up the world's greatest human shithole ever put together, called Nigeria. Let me take you around the world. There are Nigerian prisoners in South Africa, Namibia, Botswana, Kenya, Angola, Gabon, Cameroon, Ghana, Cote d'Ivoire, Senegal, Indonesia, the UAE, Qatar, Pakistan, India, Thailand, Malaysia, Singapore, Vietnam, China, Hong Kong, Japan, South Korea, Russia, Ukraine, Poland, Germany, Italy, Switzerland, Norway, the Netherlands, Spain, Canada, the USA, Colombia, Brazil, and even countries as poor as Chad, Congo, and Mali. Their conviction typically surrounds around drug trafficking, pimping or pandering, 419 fraud, which includes dating scams, credit card fraud, and other fraudulent activities. The world has every reason to scrutinize Nigerians 5 times more, or even ban them altogether. Nigerians give black Africans a bad name. I bet you Namibians, Botswana, Kenyans, Angolans, Senegalese, Burkinabes, South Sudanese, or South Africans commit the least crime of all Africans who live in the West, South America, and East Asia. Botswana, Namibians, South Africans, and
I don't know if you have noticed it. I can't comment on my YouTube. I don't know what YouTube have done. I'm trying to pin the link. It's not allowing me. Probably you are also facing it there. I tried to use my wife's phone to make a comment to pin the link on YouTube. It's not letting me. So I think either this program is attacked, or they've striked it in one way or the other. They just deprive people from communicating in this program. So let's just manage and play some of these things, and then that will be it. All right.
Kenyans don't leave their countries like Nigerians do. When they do so legally, and when they are in your countries, they are 10 times more likely to abide by the law of the land and stay away from crimes. In contrast, Nigerians would fight in public at every opportunity. They have one of the lowest levels of etiquette in the world. 7 out of 10 Nigerians have been involved in public fighting in their lives, as this is our Nigerian way of resolving dispute. Now imagine letting someone who doesn't understand law and order not to urinate in public, how to dialogue instead of yelling and using their fist in your country. What do you think will happen? They don't get along with their neighbors or other African countries. How do you think they'll get along with the world's most evolved and developed societies of the West and East Asia? The Nigerian sees the humane laws of your country as a weakness to exploit. As with everything, nothing is 100%. I know this. There are some good Nigerians, but almost every Nigerian is infested with that corrupt mindset. Living in Nigeria, I have tried to find something good to sell to the world, but unfortunately, there are scarce. It is a land absent from progress. The Nigerian system is broken. Nigeria is not even a country. A Hausa person hates the Igbo person to the extent that they can wipe them out. The Igbo hate the Hausa in the same way. The Yoruba have a fundamental hatred for the Igbo that they'll rather die than elect an Igbo person, whilst the Igbo...
Did you hear what he said about the Yoruba people? That the Yoruba people hate the Igbos with fundamental hatred. But when you talk about Igbos hating the Hausas, that's not correct. It's not because I'm an Igbo, but that's not correct. Because if Igbos hate Hausa, Oga, if Igbos hate Hausa, they will not be developing Hausa land. The best development the Hausa people have had in their own side of the divide have always been from the Igbo man. We don't hate anybody. We are the most accommodating people. Except this man, he did a lot of narratives. He gave a lot of narratives that are very correct. But this point where he hits about Igbos hating Hausa, no, it's not correct. It's not correct. I'm sorry. I'm not being biased or, it has nothing to do with bigotry. We are the people that have refused to even stay on our own. Like from time, because they've hated us from time. It is the Hausa people that have kept saying the Igbos, that they are, they are domineering, which is not true. Amadou Bello, the video is there, it's available, where he said that the Igbo people, they dominate. Anywhere you take them, they want to dominate. He said that because of the hatred they have for us. But the fact of what he said about the Yoruba people now is being seen today, presently, the hatred that Yoruba people have on the Igbo people. The hatred is too much. So I want him to repeat that part where he said something about the Yoruba people with their fundamental hatred against the Igbo people.
To the world, but unfortunately, there are scarce. It is a land absent from progress. The Nigerian system is broken. Nigeria is not even a country. A Hausa person hates the Igbo person to the extent that they can wipe them out. The Igbo hate the Hausa in the same way. The Yoruba have a fundamental hatred for the Igbo that they'll rather die than elect an Igbo person, whilst the Igbo are the world's most arrogant, self-deluding, zero etiquette people of Africa. These three major ethnic groups, Hausa, Igbo, and Yoruba, each have over 40 million people, with the Hausa nearing 65 million. Now imagine putting Spain, England, and Poland into one country. Do you know the type of chaos you'd be creating? This is how Nigeria is. The Spanish, English, and Polish are all European, but they cannot function as one country. So too do the Hausa, Yoruba, and Igbo. These people cannot function under one country. When government ministerial positions are declared, they often have to reflect the Hausa, Yoruba, and Igbo shares before the other minority ethnic groups receive their own share. If the sharing favors one ethnic group more than the other, they fight, yell, insult, and complain until the next appointment. The other ethnic group in charge will now retaliate by appointing their own ethnic group. The presidency has to go to that ethnic group, then that one, and this one, and those one. Then when the next one comes, they keep changing. You see, in short, the number of ministerial positions have to reflect the various ethnic groups. This is not a country, but a bunch of tribal, unevolved, mentally unstable, over 200 million stupid people. Why would any country let Nigerians into their country? I'm not sure, but if I were the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, I would impose a total ban on Nigerians. The risk outweighs the benefit.
But now, this kind of narrative he is painted, good. But now asking the United Kingdom to ban Nigeria, you should know that it is United Kingdom that created this madness from the beginning. I know this guy, you have given a clear analysis, but you need to go to the foundation. It is United Kingdom that created this madness. It is United Kingdom that took Nigeria as they created it and put it in the hands of people that do not belong to Nigeria. Today, the people leading and ruling in Nigeria, they are not even part of Nigerians. Now, you've said all this about Igbo, Hausa, Yoruba, but you didn't say anything about the Fulani, who do not belong to the ethnic groups, but are controlling everything in Nigeria. Is that clear? You need to know that.
There are 24 million homeless Nigerians, which is almost the same as the rest of sub-Saharan Africa combined. And over 70% of the country's population lives in poverty. That is over 160 million people, the highest in the world when averaged, given that India has over 5 times as many people as Nigeria. They have the largest arable land in Africa, Nigeria, yet most of that is uncultivated. Their weather is characterized by abundant sunshine during the dry season and ample rainfall during the raining season. The north is the savannah, and the middle belt of Nigeria is level with abundant arable land suitable for farming. Still, 56% of Nigeria's 70 to 84 million hectares of arable land remains uncultivated or underutilized. You begin to ask yourself, why are these people hungry? The answer is simple: incompetence and a collective lack of skills to run a country. Nothing in Nigeria is properly managed, from the police to the immigration services, customs to the airport, traffic to the road network, schools to the national grid, and from the people to their own very homes. Nigeria is a chaotic society where people exhibit some of the lowest levels of etiquette and quality known to man. And most of these people are looking for ways to obtain visas to the various developed and semi-developed countries so that they can bring that chaotic upbringing from Nigeria to the world. I have tried to find a better way to euphemize this video. Still, after months of procrastinating, I couldn't find a better way to organize my words, but to say it as it is. If you are a Nigerian watching with the slightest ounce of honesty, you'd agree with me. We have earned the badge of honor of being amongst the worst in the world. Poverty isn't why Nigerians are dishonest, criminal-minded, corrupt, and everything else. Nepal is a poor country. How many Nepalese have you seen committing crimes around the world? Chad, Burkina Faso, Mali, Myanmar, Tajikistan, and South Sudan are poor. You can't see them going around the world committing crimes. Of the world's 195 countries, there is a Nigerian prisoner in 60% of them, the highest of any country on earth. That is not an accident.
Say Bugatti, on your mandate, we just stand Tinubu. On your mandate, Tinubu, on your mandate. Shey Tinubu. Alright, so you all have seen it. See where you guys have gotten us to. See the insults. See the insults, see dashboards right and left. And you know the funniest thing? Now the funniest thing is this. There's no way I can deny everything that this guy has said, because he's coming with proofs. Yes, he is stating everything he's saying with proofs. He has proofs. So there's no way I can deny anything. So everything that this guy has said in this video is fact. Let's be brutally honest with ourselves. If you want to be honest with yourself as a Nigerian, you should understand that everything that is being said in this video is fact. Nothing is wrong. He said he stated everything just the way it is. Forget all these things they do. Forget all this media. They usually twist narrative. Forget all of them. Now let's be brutally honest. You yourself, you know that what this guy has said is true. Now don't watch this video alone. Share it for more people to see and understand how bad the situation has gotten. And in my opinion, if you ask me, I think the best thing is for every region to control their resources. Let every region control their resources. If every region focus on themselves, situations like this can never happen. Never. But let me know what you guys think on the comment section. Don't forget to like and share for others to watch and learn. And click that follow button. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. That was a very interesting one. It's heartbreaking for me that I can't see any comment from anywhere. It's heartbreaking because probably the topic is very sensitive. So the community guideline does not allow us to interact in this section. So please bear with me. I'm not the one that restricted anyone from commenting. I know that some of you on YouTube may be trying to comment. I myself, I try to even put the link so that people can come in. I can't put the link. That's why I'm putting my number down there. So anybody that actually wanted to, maybe if you want to make a comment and you are not allowed to make the comment, you can call me on the first number there. The first number can call me to make a comment. Or if you are calling the second number there, you won't be able to get the person. It is Mama Biafra. Her number is here for a purpose. So those that need to support what we are doing in the USA, you can call our mother, Mama Biafra. I don't know. That's her number there. You can call her and let her know how you want to support our legal team that are in Finland, and to support the appeal of our PM and to support the homeland. Very, very important. You can call, I don't know, or also call me if you want. But those of you in the US, it might be easier for you to get in touch with her on a call, I don't know, on +1 562 326 3199. That's my mommy's number. Thank you very much. All right. Now, having done that, let's go and listen to. Okay, mommy is calling. Hello, mommy. Sorry, hold it. Hello, ma. Okay. Okay, where can you make my attack, Abby? Okay. No wonder how you block all the comment section. Nobody can comment anymore. Mommy, should I put you on speaker so that you will talk to Biafrans? Let me put you on speaker. Okay. Okay. Yeah, they removed the comment. Yes, they removed the comment. Yeah. They don't want anybody to comment anymore. They just block. Even me myself, I can't comment. Yes. They don't want anybody to know the truth. That's why. All right. Thank you, mommy. Thank you so much. Thank you. Okay. No. Okay. It's like comment. All the comments are there ago now. Somebody have just commented from YouTube. Let me hope it's okay. The comment is working now again. Okay, it's working now again. Yeah. It's working. Okay. The comment, but me, I cannot comment, but it looks like some people can comment, but myself, I can't. Anyway. Okay, no problem. It's okay. It's okay. Thank you. Okay, mommy. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. All right. Bye, mom. Bye. Yeah. Hey, so bad. You know, these people don't want anybody to know the truth. You know, mommy made a comment. She made a comment in the live program. Yeah. Somebody's okay. This person that is even commenting, these people commenting are not part of us. Somebody is saying, "What are you saying?" Anyway, so the real people cannot comment. These ones that are commenting probably are not. Anyway, let me get us the video of Raleigh Moore. Yeah, Raleigh Moore did a video and it was an interview, and it's important for you guys to see that interview. Yeah, I want you guys to see it. Before you see Raleigh Moore, this man here is a senator, a sitting senator, a sitting senator in the red chambers. Hear what he had to say. A sitting senator in the red chambers. Hear what he had to say. Listen.
We must search our minds. As we keep saying, sir, we know who these bandits are. We know where they are. We know what they want. What is left for us to conclude? If we are going to do negotiation, do it and finish it. If we are going to fight, we'll fight it to the finish. What?
You see, here this is a senator. Let me start again so that I'll analyze it in bits. He's not interested in wiping them out. He's ready, whichever one that comes. This is a senator representing some people in Nigeria. He said, if you want to negotiate, negotiate with them. If you don't want to negotiate, you want to wipe them out, wipe them out. So for him, whichever one the government does is okay for him. He's only interested in his pocket, in his belly, in his stomach. He doesn't care about the safety of people. The way he's sounding here, you will just know that this man is all this. Please let them stop this thing so that our criminality will continue. Do you understand?
We must search our minds. As we keep saying, sir, we know who these bandits are. We know where they are. We know what they want.
We know who these bandits are. We know where they are. We know what they want. They're very powerful things that this woman is saying. And he's saying it audaciously in the red chambers. We know who these bandits are. We know where they are. We know what they want. Listen again.
We keep saying, sir, we know who these bandits are.
1.
We know where they are.
2.
We know what they want.
3. We know who these bandits are. We know where they are. We know what they want. Hey, a senator.
What is left for us to conclude? If we are going to do negotiation, do it and finish it. If we are going to fight, we'll fight it to the finish.
If we're going to do negotiation, do it and finish it. If we're going to fight, do it and finish it. Whichever one you want, just do it. And I go ahead.
What is the big deal? We know everything. Why are we covering?
I'm covering.
Why are we covering all these things?
Why are they covering? So he knows that people are covering things. So if Donald Trump is watching, if Raleigh Moore is watching, this is a senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. They know who these terrorists are. They know who they are. They know where they are. They know what they want. And he's admitting here that they are covering. He's asking them, why are they covering? A senator.
And I want to align myself with distinguished Senator Abaribe. Sir, the issue that must take precedence is who withdrew the soldiers from MAGA Primary School.
Who withdrew the soldiers? This question has been going on for how many months now? They said they will raise a panel, a committee. Did they raise the committee? Have they been able to track? The soldiers that were withdrawn, they are still alive. So it's not going to be difficult to find who. It's not going to be difficult to find who will do them. Because just ask the soldiers, the call. If the soldiers are lying, you'll be able to trace the call, trace it. Then you know who their hierarchies are. If the hierarchy says it's not the one, then how were the soldiers withdraw? At least the soldiers that got the call to withdraw, they know where the message came for them to withdraw. Who withdrew them? Till today, nobody have been able to have the balls to come out and say it.
On whose instruction? The world want to know, Nigerians want to know, we that is particularly affected, we want to know, sir. Because if we don't get to the bottom of this, these incidents will be repeating itself.
Are you seeing it? That is Nigeria. That's Nigeria. All right. Well, let me not overflog this. Senator Garba, that's his name. This guy is Senator Garba. Let me go and get you the interview of, oh my God, there's so many things here I would have shown you. Even Mike Pence, everybody is now talking about Nigeria. This is the former vice president of the USA, Mike Pence. They are all speaking. All of them are speaking up. All of them are speaking up. Do you want to hear what Mike Pence said? Listen to him, the former vice president of the United States of America. Listen to him.
Well, the American people have always stood for religious freedom, not only our own, but around the world. But what's happening in Nigeria is really a genocide, Rob. You described it very well, and I commended the president for making it clear to the government of Nigeria that we'll not tolerate the mass slaughter of Christians. Some 200 Christians were slaughtered in June of this year. Maybe 60,000 Christians have been murdered by Boko Haram and other terrorist organizations in the northern part of Nigeria since 2009. Our administration listed Nigeria as a country of particular concern. For some reason, the Biden administration changed that status. I greatly welcome President Trump's decision to restore that status and also make it very clear that we'll not tolerate the wholesale murder of Christians without the appropriate American response.
Get that? Yeah, they're all talking, they're talking tough. They are all talking tough. So the end of the road for the zoo is very, very near. The end of the road for the zoo is very, very, very near. Now you need to listen to this interview. You need to listen to this interview. This is Riley Moore, the one that is getting our prayers as recommended by Joseph Okechukwu. Now let's listen.
As we both have adhered ourselves to what's going on against Christians around the world, particularly in one place, and people have heard me say this, where there is persecution and execution of Christians, and that is Nigeria. Now the United States and Nigeria are moving forward on a new security agreement. In fact, just this past weekend, gunmen killed 3 people and kidnapped 11 others, including a Catholic priest. That comes as more than 160 kidnapped Christians were freed last week, so that's a movement. However, many others were killed. President Trump warned last November that U.S. aid would be cut if Nigeria failed to protect the people there.
No administration in modern history has done more to confront the plight of persecuted Christians around the world than we have with us. It's a mission. A lot of anti-Christian bias, and you see it going in foreign countries. I mentioned Nigeria. There are others. We're hitting them very hard. My administration is confronting head-on the militant and really intolerant campaign that tried to drive religious believers out of public life.
A Nigeria-based human rights organization.
Now, there's something that you need to know. You heard Donald Trump talking. That place where Donald Trump is talking there, it is the same occasion where he acknowledged the wife of Tinubu. The wife of Tinubu was around in that particular meeting. Donald Trump acknowledged her presence while he's telling the world how they are dealing with terrorists in Nigeria. And the Nigerian press, Nigerian news, Nigerian mumu, millions of them, they are not talking about Donald Trump's effort to stop and combat the terrorism. All that they were focused on to cover the image of Nigeria, but Donald Trump have recognized the wife of President, the wife of Tinubu. Just like Ngozi Orabo Fulani, I saw one letter circulating from Ngozi Orabo Fulani. I don't know the genesis and the exodus of that letter, but the best I know is that that letter has said nothing about Biafra. That letter, some kind of automatic generated letter, probably. Maybe you write the White House and then a letter is generated from somewhere, because I know who Ngozi Orabo is. Ngozi Orabo have no contact in Washington, D.C. Ngozi Orabo have no connection with the presidency, whatever. Even if she has, thank God, and I wish and I pray that America responds through anybody for Biafra. But that letter has nothing to do with Biafra. Nothing. It has nothing to do with our freedom. Nothing. I saw it, I read it. Contact the White House, what have you. Our administration. Nothing whatsoever. Now, Briggy, under CROC and BGC, are working very, very hard to make sure that the office of the president and the office of the United States of America, the defense office, will acknowledge us and will support us. And will make sure they support the freedom of our leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, and the freedom of our Prime Minister, Simon Ekpa. That's not what Ngozi is looking for. Ngozi is not looking for some kind of leverage that will just still keep people running up and down, fooling themselves. The same way Ogenkere was snapping pictures up and down and posting pictures. And these days, what Ogenkere is doing now, he will come out in Maryland. Hi, Ogenkere, I am speaking to you from the head office. I'm speaking for you from the head office in Maryland. That place is an empty office. The Prime Minister of Biafra is not there. And you have adulterated the certificates of that place. And you are going to answer for it. So stop fooling yourself around. Okay? So now, the important thing, they won't focus on the important thing. So that's for you to see that all these people that are distracting us, they are acting the same way the zoo agents are acting. Ngozi, Ogenkere, the same way the zoo agents are acting. They just want to show their relevance. They want to quickly steal the show, make it look like they are making sense, but they're not making any sense. Donald Trump is here talking about how terrorists are being dealt with. And because he greeted the president's wife, the whole of the zoo are talking about, hey, Donald Trump recognized the president's wife. Donald Trump recognized Remi Tinubu. People are just shameless. Look at the most important thing Donald Trump was talking about there. That's why Riley Moore is now speaking. Because Donald Trump spoke, he's now concerned about over 300 people that were massacred. The wife of Tinubu did not tell you about the 300 people that were massacred. All she's talking about is, hey, if it was not important, Donald Trump will never recognize me. It's very important. Shameless people. Shameless people. Let me take it back again so you hear Donald J. Trump. Hear Donald Trump talking about what he's doing to combat terrorism and hitting them hard in Nigeria.
There.
No administration in modern history has done more to confront the plight of persecuted Christians around the world than we have. With us, it's a mission. A lot of anti-Christian bias, and you see it going in foreign countries. I mentioned Nigeria. There are others. We're hitting them very hard. My administration is confronting head-on the militant and really intolerant campaign that tried to drive religious believers out of public life.
A Nigeria-based human rights organization says more than 7,000 Christians were killed in Nigeria just last year alone. And by the way, those numbers don't go all the way until the end of the year. So they are higher. And as that information becomes available, we will report it to you. You add that to the 125,000 killed since 2009. Congressman, you recently went to Nigeria to learn more about the violence firsthand. I know you briefed the president on this. You turned in a report after that. But now you have said, and I want to quote you, that in the past few weeks, we have seen one of the most horrifically bloody days in recent history. Why do you say that?
Well, right now, the folks that I am talking to on the ground have described what's happening in the Middle Belt and the north of Nigeria right now in the last 10 days as a bloodbath. Potentially as many as 300 have been killed throughout that region of Nigeria. We've had this priest who has been kidnapped as well with 10 of his parishioners. 3 of them were killed in one of the states of Nigeria, where we had about 150 people killed. And I will point out, a lot of those were Muslims, actually, that were refusing to submit to Sharia law and were trying to follow the Constitution of Nigeria. They were killed, but amongst those were also Christians, and they were burned inside of a church. They set it on fire. So it's just wanton death and murder and destruction that continues. But working with the administration, we are making steps in the right direction to address this persecution. The president is very singularly focused on addressing this. We now have special forces in Nigeria in a non-combative manner. They're there assisting the Nigerians. We have just signed a security cooperation roadmap with the Nigerian government and their military to continue to work on this. And we have also conditioned their security assistance in the last state foreign operations bill and appropriations that was just signed into law by President Trump.
Yeah, this is a lot of movement. You were talking about that one area, and residents told Reuters the attackers that hit their village were jihadists. In fact, these Islamic radical jihadists are what are being pointed to. You and I have talked about them before. They had been preaching inside their village, urging the locals to abandon Nigeria's state and their religion, Christianity, and adopt Sharia rule. When the villagers refused, the militants opened fire on them. So you're right, it's not just the people who are already Christians, it's those who might be open to helping Christians at this point. And I know that Nigeria's president, Tinubu, has said that they've deployed an army battalion to some of these areas. Are we making enough difference to where he's going to take some real action now?
Yes, but one of those actions that he needs to take, and he has said, he stated this publicly just recent, when he was, prior to being president, was in the Senate, or governor rather, is that he wanted to see a federalized police force, which is absolutely something that has to happen. Each state has to have the ability to secure their own people. Right now, you just have the police force in Abuja. It's a national police force. We need to arm the different police forces of the states throughout Nigeria to be able to protect the Christians that are being martyred throughout this country and provide security.
So, you see, Rally Moore is now addressing that issue, the problem in Zamfara. You see, Zamfara governor cannot handle the security problem because he's handicapped. Now, they have identified that problem. You see, Nigeria will dissipate. Nigeria cannot hold. That thing that they have been covering, that thing that they have been hiding, that thing they have refused to allow because they wanted this terrorism to continue. They can't anymore. So it's going to be a very strong backlash. Now, America is telling them, look, we know that you have a national police. It cannot be able to secure. Every state should be able to secure themselves. And let's see how far. Will Tinubu be able to do this? Will Tinubu be able to take that decision? Will Tinubu be able to give the states the ability and the power? The Tinubu is only concerned about on your mandate. He's not concerned about the freedom of the people. He's not concerned about the security of the people. He just wants to be in power and continue to enrich himself and enrich France and enrich his family and his friends, criminal friends. Now, America have identified it, that there's no way the police will be in Abuja and the terrorists will be destroying Zamfara and Taraba. And nobody will be able to protect those people. Now, first and foremost, another thing is that issue of Sharia, it must be completely abolished. Nobody will, at the end of the day, by the time Riley Moore, they will push for this and see that it is impossible because it cannot work in Nigeria. The owners of Nigeria, those that want Nigeria to remain, they don't want it that way. They want to target Igbos, they want to target Biafrans, they want to destroy Biafrans. And because they are determined in doing that, and America will be determined in them doing the right thing, and they will never do the right thing, America will now be faced with the ultimate choice, which is divide Nigeria. If you do not divide Nigeria, if you do not split Nigeria into different parts, at least minimum into 4 parts, minimum 4 parts. It should be at least 6, but at least minimum. You start with the 4 parts. You divide that country. Biafra will go on their own. And everyone that is Igbo must be inside Biafra. Even if the Igbo is in Zamfara, even if the Igbo is in Kogi, Onkwara, anywhere, they must be in Biafra land. Okay? So Ralimo is now saying it, and these are the things that Nigeria don't even want to talk about. I want him to repeat that. Just repeat that.
Governor, rather, is that he wanted to see a federalized police force, which is absolutely something that has to happen. Each state has to have the ability to secure their own people. Right now, you just have the police force in Abuja. It's a national police force. We need to arm the different police forces of the states throughout Nigeria to be able to protect the Christians that are being martyred throughout this country and provide security in a country that is facing massive insecurity challenges because of this centralized control right now that's been taking place.
Well, look, Congressman Moore, I know you've been all over this. Religious freedom is something that we stand for in this country, and when we see light being covered by darkness, we want to help. Thank you for all that you're doing, and thank you for the latest on all of this.
Thank you. God bless you.
God bless you too, Riley Moore. God bless you. God keep you. God use you mightily. Now, I'm sure you people saw this news. Soludo tried everything he can to stop the sit-at-home. Now, I want to ask, even after the BLA, the Biafran Army, came out and said, okay, the sit-at-home have been cancelled. Yet, you see, in Biafra land today, on Anambra State, it was total lockdown, shut down. You see it? This picture you are seeing is from Anambra State. It's from Anambra State. And our admin from Netherlands wrote, in Finland, Prime Minister Simon Ekpa was accused as the one instigating the sit-at-home in Biafra land. Over a year now since his detention, sit-at-home is ongoing and the Nigeria government is still struggling to stop it. They've had Simon Ekpa for over 1 year now. And sit-at-home is still going. Biafra people have decided, free PM Simon Ekpa now. Free him now. You can see it's not the reason why they sit at home. So you see, Riley Moore is doing the needful. As violence flares in Nigeria after a weekend of deadly attacks, Riley Moore joins the Faulkner Focus today to discuss the continued persecution of Christians overseas and the US. Response. Joseph Ogochukwu wrote, Nigeria is the most dangerous place on earth to be a Christian. 90% of all those killed for their faith lived in Nigeria. 90% of all those unalived for their faith, they live in Nigeria. Chew on that for a brief minute. Who is reporting this? There's a website called the Christian Post. At least 162 massacred executed in Nigeria after rejecting radical Islam, reports Christian Post. So you can see the tides are changing. The narratives are changing. And Nigeria can never hold. It can hold. Now, the last video I'm going to play, let me see if I will connect with this, our brother. This is our very, very powerful brother in in Nigeria. Let's hear him. Let's hear him. Okay, let's go. Let's listen to this brother.
When I'm talking about Islamization agenda, you think you know better than me. You think most of us have been shouting and talking and trying to sensitize Nigerians about the Islamization agenda of these Fulani jihadists. You think you know better. And some of you in the West, from the Yoruba land, are so foolish that you think the people from the North, the jihadists, because they call Allah Akbar, you think you are the same. No. So I'm tired of the folly of Nigerians. Our foolishness knows no bound. Your foolishness knows no bound. That's when we should rise up and speak with one, as one, with one voice. You think it's between Christian, Muslim, and you play politics and you play ethnic cards with it. You all are foolish. I'm telling you. You think you know better. Between today is Thursday. Between Monday and today, over 300 people have been annihilated, have been unalived in Nigeria, and nobody has done anything reasonable about it. You think you know better? When I tell you of Islamization agenda, you think you know better than me, isn't it? You all are foolish. Fulanis went to Woro village in Kwara State, which most of the people actually are Muslims. But because they have been preaching, they were preaching to them to accept Sharia as a governing law against the Nigerian constitution. Sharia as a governing law against the Nigerian constitution. And the people rejected. And the people said no, they would rather stick to the Nigerian constitution and be governed by the Nigerian constitution instead of Sharia. And even though most of these people are even Muslims, they executed. They did not just unalive them. They tied their hands behind their back in Woro village. Tied their hands behind their backs. What you do to criminals? They tied their hands behind their backs and executed them. Over 200 of them. Now, of course, the media say 170. If media tell you 170, I've always told you, divide that number by 2, they add on top of it. So there are over 200 and something people that were executed because they refused Sharia law. And I told you the other time in my video when I was explaining the pattern of Islamization. When I was explaining the sequence, the stages of Islamization, number 1 is that they're moving. They're either moving by migration or they're moving by invasion. Number 2, they occupy government positions. And when they begin to occupy government positions, they begin to vow for, different stuff like that. Number 3, they begin to multiply. And when they multiply to a certain number, then number 4, they implement Sharia. And the moment you accept Sharia, then jihad will happen. And Nigeria presently, 12 states are practicing Sharia. 12 states. And if you think those people carrying these atrocities are carrying those guns at the minute, you are wasting your time because the people that are backing them up are the 2 people that are up high there. They are religious leaders, the oligarchs in the north, the politicians, most of them in the military that are backing them up. They will not come up, but they are supporting it. They want to turn Nigeria to a Turkey. They want to turn Nigeria to a Lebanon. They want to turn Nigeria to a Jordan. They want to turn Nigeria to an Egypt. And we keep shouting this thing every day. Wow, over 200 people executed like that, and we are going about our businesses as proper people with no consequence whatsoever. You think you know better than me, isn't it? I keep talking of Islamization agenda, but you think I'm foolish. Not knowing that you are the one that is foolish. For the Yoruba people, I warn you again, be careful. See, I've told you before, in that video I told you, I said the Igbo land will be the most difficult. But what they're going to use in the Igbo land is money, because they understand, see, the devil will always tempt you with what you like most. They know the Igbo people like money. And you find that their allergies will begin to woo their people, they'll begin to marry their daughters with money, they'll begin to settle their sons with money, and because of that, Islam will enter. But it will take a long time. So what they do is, they start conquering from the north, and then when they spread to the west, because it will be easy to spread into the west than to the southeast. And then from the west now, they'll conquer. Now you see, their activity in Kwara is very, very, is very evident now. Their activity in Kwara is evident. Their activities in Kwara is effective. Guess where they're going next? No. You think it's Igbo land or it's South? No, they're entering Oyo State. And they're already in the forest of Oyo, presently as I'm telling you. Information reaching me, they're already in the forest of Oyo. They'll spread to Ogun. And from there, you think you're in Lagos State and you cannot be touched. No. You think you're in Lagos State, you cannot be touched. I tell you, it's a matter of time. It's a matter of time. You see the speed at which they are moving. It is just a matter of time. It is just a matter of time. I want to tell you, look for how to defend yourself. These people are relentless. These jihadists are relentless. I call on President Tinubu, better do. You see, the re-election thing is just on your mind. The politicians they don't have your time. They don't care about you. Let 500 be killed today. They don't care. They'll go about their campaign. To them, it's about party. To them, it's about party. And we have idiots, useless men in this government that would rather come and instead of sympathize with the people or profess solution or aggressively attack these people, they would rather come out and banter Peter Obi or banter one party or the other. I'm telling you, if you don't stand and defend yourself and genuinely and vehemently resist Sharia in the West, your situation will be worse than what is happening in the North. You think you know better, isn't it? When we keep shouting, you are playing tribal cards. You think it's because we're against Tinubu, we keep talking. And every time we bring up facts, you turn into tribal cards. You think it's about tribalism. You think it's about, because we're speaking against Tinubu, you are very foolish. You will still come under this street and attack me, but no problem. I want to call on the Nigerian military. As much as I know many of you are compromised, I want to call on the Nigerian government. Do not allow the Fulanis, a minority tribe that is causing mayhem, a minority tribe, an infinitesimal amount of people that can be silenced once. We can't allow them to get dominant, to get ground. I told you of Islamization agenda, you think I'm playing. No problem. If Sharia is not abolished intentionally in Nigeria, I am telling you, 20 years from today, we are not ending this problem. if Sharia is not abolished in Nigeria, 20 years from today, this challenge is not ending. We have become a people that is totally a people of no relevance. We have become a mockery to the international communities. Look, I'm talking now. They took the lights. For 60-something years, power supplies cannot be constant in Nigeria, causing chaos, causing anarchy in Nigeria. The Islamists, these Fulanis. I've talked about that you should hold Sultan accountable for a lot of this. You did not hear me. I've spoken that you should hold Gumi accountable for most of this. You did not hear me. No problem. We're here. I want to all I'll keep saying is that the church must rise up to begin to defend itself. Because you see, if they can do that to a community that are even with Muslims, simply because they rejected Sharia, how do you think it will be for Christian communities? If we don't rise up and begin to initiate the Crusader program gradually at this time, to begin to raise people, security networks for the church that will defend Christians in the Christian communities. If you think this is ending anytime soon, you are wasting your time. This what we are going to is not ending anytime soon. It's not ending anytime soon until you meet their nonsense, their stupidity with a higher level of violence. Until you meet their violence with a higher level of violence before they run away. They will never stop as much as we keep negotiating. We see about how many over 100 people that were kidnapped from the church. They are still there, entering to the church.
Until you meet their violence with a higher level of violence, they're not going to stop. The reason why they are afraid of coming close to Biafra land is because they have already seen that we have what they have. They can't come until you meet their violence with a higher level of violence. Otherwise, you're just wasting your time. They won't stop until they wipe you out.
With such audacity and kidnap people that sit there. If you think this is entering anytime, so you're wasting your time. If we don't rise and begin to meet their nonsense, their foolishness with a higher level of violence, 20 years from today, 30 years from today, we are not ending this. And I've told you, Nigeria will never be Islamized. We will rather divide. After all, I've said it over and over. This marriage, this entity called Nigeria is a scam. We have been deceiving ourselves for too long. Nobody wants to say, even though many of us know, nobody wants to say it's a scam. If we don't rise up.
Many of the Nigerian people, especially those that are sincere, they have come to the conclusion that Nigeria is a scam, that it must divide. I'm telling you. God. Mazen Namdekano told you, he said, every other thing I told you have come to pass. What makes you think that Biafra will not come to pass? And the only thing we are guiding now is to make sure that we don't have terrible demons coming with us into Biafra to make life more miserable for us. Well, that's why we're not going to allow people like Ngozi Oraboeze, people like Ogenkere, Isaiah Anyonko. There shouldn't be a door open for them into Biafra. Because these are enemies of freedom. Enemies. Any evil people. Biafra will be a land for the whiter and whiter and whiter than snow. Anyone that is corrupted, evil, will not enter Biafra. No, will not. And if you want to maneuver your way, you feel that you will be able to enter. God will punish you. God will punish you. I'm telling you, you will be inflicted to the point of no recovery. So people that were praying and saying that, like this guy, he's saying that Nigeria can never be Islamized, and he's still telling you that Nigeria is a scam. With the same mouth. The same mouth used to tell you that Nigeria can never be Islamized. The same mouth used to tell you that Nigeria is a scam. So let me take that one off, that Nigeria is a scam. And then if Nigeria is a scam, then if they want to Islamize their scam, won't you allow them? Let them Islamize their scam now. Then you walk out of Nigeria. If you are in the middle belt, you become middle belt. If you are in Biafra land, come in, let's do Biafra. But whatever they are, whatever they try to do, I'm telling you, they can never succeed. Biafra, Biafra must come. Undermost, Biafra must come.
These guys are not relenting. They will continue to labor to ensure that they bring Nigeria to a Turkey or to a Lebanon state, and we will not permit that. We will never divide. The church must rise up at this time. All those nonsensical compromises are trying to be diplomatic. These people are not diplomatic with you. You are the one that want to be diplomatic. Oh yeah, now, no problem. We will keep speaking. What we will not do again is to be silent. When I'm talking about Islamization agenda, you think you know better than me. You think most of us have been shouting and talking and try to sensitize Nigerians about the Islamization agenda of these Fulani jihadists. You think you know better. And some of you in the West, from the Yoruba land, are so...
Okay, the thing is repeating again. I think that's the much we can take for tonight. That's the much we can take for tonight. I'm going to leave it. It's already midnight here. I need to go to bed because I have some... Please be able to sleep for 4 or 5 hours. Yes, 4 hours. I won't be able to sleep for 5 hours, 4 hours at least. And sleep is good for the body. I love you all, but you go carry them and see you in the morning. Catch you phone.